Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we are going to break down some diets on TikTok that are promoting looks maxing. So let's begin. All right, so we got a slideshow. Uh, yeah, obviously you want healthy hormones. Yep. So how is he going to tell us to do it? Breakfast of champions, blueberry, banana. Is that it? A lot of glycation early. Yeah, I'm not a fan of fruits, especially this early in the morning. You're going to spike your insulin. If this is the first thing you have right away in the morning, you are already going to get out of ketosis. You aren't going to be burning body fat throughout the day. So, you know, you're not going to, if you're someone who's overweight and you're trying to lose weight so you have more of like a hollow face and just a six pack, like the leaner you are, the more attractive you are. And if you had this much glucose and fructose early, you're not going to be able to burn body fat throughout the day. There are a few exceptions. I'm not totally against fruit. Seasonally, you can have fruit, and if it's local, because your deuterium levels from all the vitamin D in the sun are going to be lower, so you can have more fruits that are going to be hydrating. But even then, I'd probably still go for a coconut water because it's about to be summer. We're getting pretty tan, so I'd rather go with the coconut water anyways. So let's keep going here. So far, not the best start. Mashed potatoes, steak, and beans. The beans are not needed. Vegetables themselves are not needed. At least it looks like they're cooked beans, so there's going to be less anti-nutrients, but you're still going to get gut disruption from them. The meat obviously is going to be a great choice. You're going to get a lot of essential micronutrients, a lot of vitamins and minerals from that is needed. I eat 2 pounds of beef a day or meat a day or red meat a day, I should say. So I'm getting a lot of the essential nutrients that are going to help with my facial structure. It is going to help with my hormone activity and balance. So, and the mashed potatoes, if you took an actual potato, got rid of the skin, so there's no oxalates, and then just mashed it yourself, okay. But I mean, this looks like it's probably an instant mashed potato. Sorry for the stutter there. It looks like an instant mashed potato, so probably seed oils, probably added sugars. So not a terrible lunge. I would get rid of the green beans. You can keep the potatoes, but then I mean now you're adding starch. You had a lot of glucose earlier. I would either just pick one. I wouldn't do either this early. Snack, yeah, protein pudding. Not really sure, and a random cookie. But okay, it's okay because there's no vegetable oils or soy. Obviously, you want to get rid of those. You don't want vegetable oils, any type of seed oils, and you don't want soy either, but you don't want either of these products as a snack. You shouldn't be snacking. The less you eat, the better. The less times you're going to spike insulin, the less times you don't want to eat so much throughout the day. But when you eat so far this diet that's been presented where you spike your insulin early in the morning, your blood sugar early in the morning with the blueberry and banana, and then now we're having a random snack with more glucose, fructose, and now we're having artificial protein, probably a whey protein that's just going to disturb your gut and give you acne. You don't want acne. You don't want inflammation. If you have inflammation, you can't tan. You're going to be prone to more cystic, like the cystic acne on your face that obviously doesn't make you attractive, right? If we're talking about looks mags in here, you don't want to be eating products like this, especially throughout the day. You're just going to spike your insulin once again. You're going to stay in fat storage mode, and you're not going to have a chiseled, lean face that you're going for. After gym snacks, more glycation with bananas, a lot of sugar in bananas. Greek yogurt, I mean, whatever. You obviously want raw yogurt if you can get like raw dairy. It's going to be better for you, but you also have to remember a lot of people are intolerant to casein protein and to lactose, so it could cause gut disruption that would give you acne, that would make you less attractive. So if you can handle dairy, good for you. I wish I could. I would have more of it. I would have raw milk if I could. If I would have had more raw milk in development, I would be taller. I'm only 5'11". I would be 6'5" if I was having raw milk growing up, but I didn't. I had a lot of pasteurized dairy, pasteurized cheese. Therefore, I am now intolerant. I can have dairy, and I'm not as tall as I should be. And I would have had, better facial structure, blah, blah, but that's a different video. And that's really it. Yeah, not enough red meat in this diet, zero eggs, no cholesterol whatsoever. So he talked about, we need to optimize hormones. Nothing in there really was going to help other than the scarce red meat that he had at lunch, I believe. Pretty dog shit diet. Gets about a 2 out of 10.
Okay, everyone knows this, but diet is the number
Okay, I know this guy's pretty solid, so let's see what he says.
One thing you can do to become better looking, healthier, and just have a better overall life. But so many people still get it wrong. So if you no longer want to be absolutely cooked, here is the quick diet.
All right, two times it.
All I want you to do is eat meat, fruit, eggs, raw dairy, bone broth, and some liver. You'll nail.
Yeah, let's go through those.
And some liver.
Ah, I missed it.
Some liver. You'll nail.
I'm gonna crash out here.
Some liver.
Okay, so awesome. Here we have more red meat, cooked very rare, looks very solid. There's a lot of like toppings on it. Probably not necessary. I don't know if this is like a cilantro. It's gonna add for gut disruption, guys. You just want to eat meat. We've evolved off of meat for many years. It's gonna contain all the 26 essential micronutrients you need. Meat is solid. Great red meat. Fruits. It's like, guys, you gotta always remember fat versus glucose or carbs oxidation, right? They're gonna battle for oxidation. It's called the Reynolds cycle. Your body wants energy either from fat or from carbs as glucose. So if you're eating both, if you're eating berries, you're eating a lot of fructose, a lot of glucose from berries, and a lot of carbs, and then you're pairing it with fats. Your body, you need to pick one essentially. And I have picked fats because I believe, when I have my hormones optimized, because fats and cholesterol is obviously going to optimize testosterone production, it's going to help with hormone balance. I live a lot better, I look a lot better, and everything's better. The less fruits, I'm not, once again, I'm not totally against fruits. If they're seasonal and local, whatever, you can maybe get away with having it a little bit more. I wouldn't eat it around a meal with fats or meat. Eggs, obviously solid. I consume raw yolks. I don't consume raw whites. It has avidin as well as some other anti-nutrients that aren't going to be good for you. So make sure you cook the whites. If you cook the whites, you're going to be solid. Raw milk is essential, I think, for development. I'm a little old now, being 21, I wouldn't need raw milk. I can't do dairy, and I wouldn't do raw milk anyways now. We're past development, so I mean, it would just be a lot of liquid carbs, essentially, and I don't really need that. Bone broth, solid. I love bone broth, very good for gut health, very gut health-friendly food. It's obviously like, don't listen to, oh, you need chia seeds for gut health. You need fiber for gut health. That's bullshit. Bone broth is actually solid. And then raw liver is amazing. You don't want to consume too much of that. You'll have too much vitamin A. It's going to be hard on your kidneys, but I do like liver. I have liver once a week and it definitely is great for looks maxing because it will clear your face up. It will get rid of acne. It'll help with, the production. It will help heal your face. So a very solid diet here. And once again, yeah, if you did eat the fruits, and I have for a while, I still notice sometimes, a little bloated from fruit, a little overhydrating. Yeah, and fruit is aging as well. Obviously, fructose and glucose. Just because it's a fruit, it's still going to have the same sugar molecule, fructose and glucose molecule as a candy bar would. It's just not going to have all those other ingredients. So you just need to be very sparing with your fruit. It needs to be a treat. It needs to be eaten seasonally, and it has to be local. So very solid diet. If you did this, you would look great. You'd feel great. If you wanted to be perfect, get rid of the fruits.
All right, I'm not sure if I want to make this a lifting account or really what I want to do, but I'm going to show you a full day of eating. Right now, I'm coming off of a pretty aggressive cut, just trying to gain back my strength and honestly some size too. All right, here we go. First meal of the day, we got 3 eggs, 2 slices of avocado toast with some honey.
If it's sourdough, if it's sourdough, you can get away. Sourdough is the only bread you should ever consume. You shouldn't consume bread if you want to be fully optimal, but sourdough is going to be totally fine. I love avocados. Avocados is the one fruit I actually will make an exception for and still consume. Just because I love avocados. They make me full. Eggs, solid. It looks like you cooked them fine. The yolks will still be runny, so you're going to get all the nutrients from that. Pretty solid meal here. I wouldn't have the sourdough this early in the morning. I would save the sourdough for either pre-workout or later at night. Just too early because it's not going to spike your insulin as much as regular bread would because regular bread has a lot of bad things for you, but it's still going to give you an insulin spike early.
Sourdough, of course. Another thing I like to do in the mornings is always AG1 or like any multivitamin drink.
Not necessary. I don't have any vitamins or supplements or anything like that because I get it all from meat, eggs, and then maybe an avocado here and there. And then I get spring water is going to give me all the electrolytes I need as well. So I don't need to take any multivitamin drinks. A lot of those are BS. A lot of them are going to contain a lot of fiber. And what we know about fiber is we don't actually need fiber. They did a study, and basically anyone who had bowel issues, once they removed fiber, their digestion got better. So, fiber is literally an anti-nutrient. We don't, intake fiber, and that's the idea that it helps with digestion, or if you have, constipation, it's like, oh, it's just going to push through. Well, that's not the case. It's just going to build up.
All right, now we got a little midday snack, some 000 yogurt, granola, and a little
Not a fan of oats. Oats are going to be sprayed with pesticide most of the time. They're hard to digest. Going to give you potential acne. If you have a sensitive gut, here's the thing: you might see a lot of your friends or people that you know that consume oats or vegetables or protein powder, stuff that is going to disrupt your gut and give you acne. Their guts might not be as sensitive as yours. I know me personally, if I had oats, I would have acne the next morning. My gut is not able to process those things, but it's a blessing and a curse, right? Because now I know I can't have it. If you can get away with it, I mean, the protein's going to be as bioavailable as meat would in oats. I know oats, they say that protein is just not the same amino acid profile. And the reality is, guys, I mean, the yogurt, pasteurized dairy, yeah, yogurt's fine in a way, but it's pasteurized, so you might still get the issues with that. All right, this guy looks solid. He's got spring water here. It looks like maybe some type of electrolyte drink, and if he's getting a lot of sunlight, whatever, he can get away with the coconut water. It's going to be very high in deuterium.
Gotta get that potassium, bro. All right, here's what we got: about 3 hours pre-workout.
Broccoli not needed. You literally shit your pants when you have broccoli. You're going to rip ass. It's just going to disturb your gut. All vegetables are going to have defense chemicals. They don't want to be eaten, so they're going to disrupt your gut. They're going to attack back. Rice, a grain, gluten. I can't do it. If some people can, it's not a big deal. But if you want to get super cut and have a super lean, shredded face, I would avoid rice. I would avoid most carbs. What is this meat?
5-ounce Atlantic cod, rice.
Cod, I mean, fish, whatever. I mean, I'm not against fish. I have salmon, I have shrimp. I'm not too against that. I'm against like having chicken, unless it was once in a while, just in terms of micronutrients. But, fish is not a bad thing. Great omega-3 content. Not too bad. Let's see what else he finishes with. That. Obviously, actually, pretty bad here.
About 30 minutes pre-workout. We're doing 2
I was big on the pre-workout train of having some instant fructose or glucose for before, and he's getting that with the oranges here. But now you're throwing in a granola bar, more oats, more processed ingredients. I guarantee in that sugars, maybe some type of seed oil. So definitely gonna be inflammatory for the skin. It's gonna prevent you from tanning and having a lean, chiseled face with no acne. So in terms of looks maxing, I would not say that's optimal.
All right, last meal of the day.
This would be awesome if it was just ground beef, less cooked. Carrots. Carrots here and there, I actually do have vitamin A content, beta carotene to help you get tan. So in a sense, they do help with looks maxing. But now you're cooking it, so you're getting rid of the nutrients in it. So now it's pointless. The green beans unnecessary. Defense chemicals, anti-nutrients. Same with the broccoli. So much broccoli. I guarantee this guy rips ass and combines that with the protein shake. Sucralose gonna cause gut disruption, give you acne. I mean, a lot of the stuff, guys, basically, if you really wanted to break it down, all the stuff that you shouldn't be eating is just going to disrupt your gut and give you acne, which is not going to help you with looks maxing. Looks maxing is going to be, you want a clear face, you want a chiseled face, you want, to be lean as possible. So that's what we're looking for here.
Let's work out. We got a half.
That's what we're looking for here.
Beef, half an avocado, some veggies, protein.
Do a few more.
Here's what an elite breakfast looks like in order to optimize health.
Okay, we got a breakfast here.
So I start off.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. It really depends on age. I personally wouldn't do it, especially because I can't have dairy, but I wouldn't do it now.
Raw milk for the lactoferrin. Then I have
wild
some salmon for iodine and selenium.
Looks raw. Love it. I love raw fish. People have sushi all the time, so it's pretty normalized to have raw fish. I don't think people would look at you with a weird eye. So go for it. I love actually having raw salmon. If it's a good source, right? It has to be a good source. Fish is sketchy in general. It's kind of like, you got to accept, there's a risk. There's always a risk with anything in life, guys. It's like the raw milk versus pasteurized milk. I almost think it's better just to have raw milk that just came from the cow. It's a few days after, it's so risky because you're going to get sick from it. Well, I think you're going to get more sick from milk that, even though it's pasteurized, that's sitting on a shelf, it's getting transported. It seems more risky to me than just having raw milk that just came from the cow, but everyone take it as you will. Everyone's going to have their own processes. Everyone's going to analyze things different. They're going to take information, process it, and make decisions just a little bit differently. But I choose to take a different approach. I'm not going to listen to the doctors. I'm not going to listen to most of social media. I'm not going to listen to what the standard is, because at the end of the day, the current standard has super high obesity rates. A lot of people are getting sick. Divorce rates are super high. So, you got to look at the standard and be like, okay, is that the definitive truth? And now the food pyramid has changed. So it's like, not everything you see is going to be fully true. Everyone's going to have their own interpretations and come up with their own conclusions. Raw cheese, whatever, that's fine. Good protein in there, keep some protein though. Blueberries, mixing fat. I wouldn't have the blueberries. Blueberries are going to be high in fiber, potentially. They're going to be sprayed with pesticide, organic or not. They'll just be organic pesticides, which we could take testosterone and get a mess with hormone balance. You're going to spike insulin as well. I'm kind of just against fruit, unless it's local, seasonal, and you have to be very active. It's kind of just like fruit is not necessary at all for you. Even though it can give you benefits, it's just not necessary. All right, looks maxing full guide. I kind of like these slideshows. Bone mass and structure, getting lean and debloated. Oh boy. Guarantee they're going to bring up bananas, potassium. They're going to, okay, let's just go over bone mass and structure, grams of protein, raw milk. Oh, okay, kefir, awesome. Fruits, don't need them. Lifestyle, as much sunlight as possible, I agree. If you don't consume any linoleic acid, or if you're very cautious about it, right, you're still going to get some from meat, but if you're getting it from seed oils, that linoleic acid buildup in your skin is going to make you be super red from tanning, and you don't want that. Yep, I agree. Yep, playing sports fun. Chew hard food equal in both sides. Yep, that's true. Mewing, yes. Okay, this is actually all great. Neck training is not cope. It's not going. You can't spot reduce fat, but if you can make your neck look a little thicker, give it some mass, it can help with your attractiveness. So not a bad thing. I do actually do the chin tucks, basically just going in like that, and then the curls. Very solid because you want to make your neck look a little bit better. But it's not going to be a magic fix. You have to get your diet aligned and your sleep aligned and your lifestyle aligned, and then you can add on these little things that are going to help you be attractive. And then chewing on both sides is something I haven't done for a while. I've just started to incorporate. I do think I'm not fully symmetrical, which, whatever. It's not the biggest deal in the world. It's very fixable, but it's going to take time. And one of the things is, chewing on both sides. I usually just chew on the right. I don't know why. It's just a habit. Now I'm going both. Mewing is very important. I've been doing this probably about 6 years now. You don't want to mouth breathe. All right, let's see what's next. Getting lean and debloating. Okay, body fat. Yeah, 10 to 18. I mean, that's going to be fine range. It's a very healthy range. You don't if you get into like the single digits, it's not going to be very sustainable. I think I am about in the single digits, and I do get tired at times, but you got to be sacrificing something, right? And let's see, diet, cut off fast food. Yep, processed carb. Yep. Oh, solid. Bananas for potassium. Yeah, that is a big thing. It can help, but you got to remember there's going to be very glycation. It's going to be a lot of sugar, so you need to be working out. The dandelion leaf tea, I've heard that might help with acne, but I don't. If you just eat a good diet, you don't have to worry about doing these rituals or whatever. Bonus electrolyte drink. I mean, just have spring water, lemon juice. I do like lemon juice if it's just a squeezed lemon. Good. Honey, that's basically high fructose corn syrup in nature. I used to be a big fan of honey. I'm actually done with honey. Let's see, sports and sauna. Cardio, sport 3 times a week, sauna 15. The sauna is interesting. Everyone can kind of take their own perspective on the sauna. I personally don't sauna. I think it's a little bit stressful in the body, but there will be times, okay, maybe I did. Let's say I cheated hypothetically and I ate some junk food or I drink alcohol. I would go to the sauna to sweat it out, but the reality is you're not going to be able to sweat everything out. So just don't do any bullshit. Don't eat any processed or drink. But, the thing with wet your pants with cold water before the sauna, that's the argument. You don't want, or ice your balls, but I just wouldn't go in the sauna. It's not natural. Okay, build an aesthetic physique. Training prioritizes building strength, not size. Okay. I would actually argue the other way. I think size is going to be more important. You want to have, just because you have super strength isn't necessarily going to, like, if we're talking from an aesthetic standpoint in looks, size is going to be more important than strength. But you obviously want both in general. First, I said, okay, all explosive, do compound exercise. You obviously, he didn't really talk about it. You want a bigger upper chest than waist, about a 2-to-1 ratio. Kind of that V look. That's a very aesthetic and attractive feature. Don't do cold showers after gym. I do cold showers in the mornings to wake up. Sleep in dark room, no phones. Yep, very solid. This is great for sleep. High fat. Yep, very solid. Yeah, I agree. That's true. You just want to build your upper frame. Don't forget legs, guys. All you guys forget legs. You skip legs. Oh, it's not important, guys. It's super important. I promise you legs are attractive. I get a lot of compliments. Testosterone. Here we go. High fat protein. Yep. Low stress. Yep, that's very true. Yeah, you don't want to have a lot of stress, guys. Yep. Grounding's great. It's going to help promote the parasympathetic nervous system, which is going to make you calmer, less stress, less cortisol. And it's great in the morning too, because when you wake up, your cortisol is going to be naturally high. You function on a 24-hour cortisol rhythm, and it's going to be high in the morning when you wake up, right? Because you had to get out of bed, you woke up, it's naturally going to be high. So, okay, we need to get it down. So let's not go on the phone. Let's not go on TikTok. Let's not listen to music. Let's not have coffee right away. Let's go outside this ground, and let's get with the vibrations of the earth. Let's just look at the sun, get the light neurons. Let's reset our 24-hour cortisol rhythm. Let's reset our circadian rhythm, right? It's going to help with us status seeking behavior all the time. Like, yeah, I agree with this. I actually do agree with that. Skincare, here we go. Acne. Yep, bad diet, 100%, 100%. Don't use any skincare products, 100% agree. I don't do, and those are just going to disrupt estrogen in your body. It's going to disrupt hormones. I actually just use beef tallow on my face, and then I just wash it with water. You don't really need too much else. Diet, gut irritants, yep. You know, processed sugar, 100% you don't. Yeah, I like that he threw carbs in. Great, great. You don't want too much. Spicy food, chemical sweeteners, sucralose, yep. Yep, solid hygiene. Yeah, and the hygiene thing is still important. Like you still, yeah, I do watch, but like you got to do the little things like that too. But the diet is the most important factor. Height. Let's see what he says here. Ideal environment, eat a variety of fruits. I mean, it really, I wouldn't say that the dairy, yes, the fruits, no. To get essential nutrients, yeah. I mean, I guess in development, sure, but especially with dairy, yes. But the fruits, I would have to do a little bit more. Keep low stress by avoiding overtraining. I agree. I used to overtrain, guys. It was a big issue of mine, and it definitely maybe it hindered my height. Maybe it it made me more stressed, give me acne, blah blah blah. So in a sense, it didn't make me look maxed, right? Sports keep good net androgen. Yep, yes. This is true. Hormones, yeah. You want to avoid plastics, BPA's, estrogens, all this stuff. Yeah, and that is the true thing. That's the hard pill to swallow because, like, obviously, I want to be as lean as possible. So face is as lean as possible and my body's as lean as possible. But if you're too low, it's not going to be healthy for you. It's going to be very stressful. All right. I believe that is all. And that's actually going to be all for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This is a little look at a lot of people say everyone's going to have different opinions on looks maxing. I have my own opinion. But in terms of like, if you look at some of my older videos, you go to my Instagram, look at some of my transformations of what I used to look like and what I look like now. This is a lot of things I believe in, a lot of things I've added on. So, my YouTube, I got full diet breakdowns, I got full tanning breakdowns, I got full diet and training and like getting jack breakdowns if you guys really want to know. But if you want a design plan for yourself, you don't know exactly what you want to do or exactly what you need to do, book a call with me below and we can talk. I'll see if you're a good fit for the one-on-one program, and we can definitely get you guys to ascend because it's very important nowadays to do so. A lot of competition, and it's just important. All right. But thank you guys for watching to the end. Hit the subscribe, and we'll catch you once again with some more of these breakdowns. We'll react to, full YouTube videos and all that good stuff. But I appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.